In this episode, we're gonna delve into the exact and precise settings for the linking and importing the CAD files, and we're gonna learn how to import them and link them to Revit. Here we got a CAD file as you can see, and if we want to consider it as a reference view in our Revit project, and you may have too many plan views, field regions, descriptions, that you'd better not to import the entire CAD file into Revit. Since it is difficult to be managed, it increases the file size, and also the DWG files that contain more than 10,000 objects cannot be imported to Revit. So the count of the objects must be less than 10,000. And also, when we got a CAD file like this, as you can see on the screen, we try to separate the files or just classify them. We try to organize the plans for each of the levels separately, so then when we want to when we want to import each of the files, so we can work on each of the levels meticulously, and the precision and the accuracy depends in this way. So the first point in the first step is to determine the origin point or the coordinates, and this is crucial for the entire discipline: structural, HVAC, piping, electrical, landscape, and others. The coordinates or the origin points for all of the plans and the disciplines must be the same and similar. So you have to just check the plan view and then choose a point as the base point that exists at the upper levels as well. That grids are more appropriate items here, so we can choose the grids that they are extended on the upper levels as well. Some grid lines may not cover some buildings, so you have to choose the base point carefully. As such a condition, I recommend you to use XL or X-line, which draws an infinite line. For instance, we got these plans, a line, I type XL, X-line, and then I want to choose a point, hypothetically, for instance, the grid of G. Watch this. Check it out. And then I want to draw a perpendicular line using XL again, for instance 6. Check it out. To cross the another line, then I can consider the intersection between these two lines as our base point. I select copy, and then I can copy this in other plans, or we can just keep grid number 6 as the next X line. Check it out, grid number 6, next grid line, and the next one, grid number 6 for the next plan. Check it out. So as you can see, the intersection between these two lines are determined. Then I type OS, I open object the snaps, then I check apparent intersection, and know that intersection must be checked in order to snap the intersection between these two X lines. Watch this. Then I add circle. Then I click to draw a circle here. 3 for the radius of the circle. Then for the next one, or the next circle, here it is. But note that if you just want to find the intersection, you can hold down shift and then right click, and when a snap is shown, you can just click on intersection. So then the intersection will be given to you. Apparent intersection, 3 for the radius, and then for the next one, circle, I hold down shift, right click, apparent intersection, 3 for the radius, and then for the last level. Check it out like this way. So these are the base points for each of the plans. Then I can select the plan, Control C to make a copy out of it. Then I open a new template file, AutoCAD. Then I paste the plan here separately. Afterwards, I want to delete all of the redundant items, the text, the sheet, the furnitures. They are not functional there, so we can just delete them, okay? We can delete the layouts. Watch this. Oh no, I just try to optimize the file and lower the size so there we can control it in the Revit easier. We delete the filled regions, select similar, or we delete the hatches. Again, I select another hatch, select similar, and then I delete it. And we can also delete the hatches for the walls. Because one of the problems while importing the CAD files is because of the hatches that they cannot be processed in Revit. And I open the block, edit block, in order to delete the dimension lines. I deleted the dimension styles. Okay, and save. These are remain. And I can delete the symbols for the sections, and then we move on. I delete the furnitures, and note that if you have assigned the layers accurately, you can turn the layers off, but if you did not assign the layers, you'd better to delete the redundant elements. Select similar and then delete, select similar and then delete for all of the redundant elements, like these furnitures, hatches, dimension lines, like this way, layouts as mentioned. I select these and then I delete them. Great. And also deleting these in order to optimize it and make it prepared to be imported to Revit software. Select similar and then delete. Look. I want to emphasize on this since we are just trying to lower the file size of our CAD file so we can manage it better. And we keep the elevation codes for the CAD file, while the trivial texts and descriptions can be deleted, and we delete the text for the windows, and we move on as much as we can to delete the redundant elements. For instance, I explode these chairs and then I delete them like this way. Check it out. However, these are the decorative elements that we got them as a family, and we're going to model them as a family. And select similar to delete. Then let me check others. And these are very important to be deleted in order to optimize the file. I keep the box of the elevator. Okay, right now the file is ready to be exported. But the next step is to position the file in the origin point of 0 coordinates. So we select Move tool, we select the entire drawings, press down Enter. Then I select the determined base point. Then, as you can see, specify second point. This is called the dynamic input. Then we have to hold down Shift and sharp buttons, and then I type double zeros and press down Enter. But if you have pressed F12, there is no need to hold down Shift. You can just press down double zeros. I mean, if the dynamic input is enabled, there is no need to hold down Shift. Check it out. If it is enabled, we hold down the Shift button and also the sharp symbol. Then we import double zeros and then press down Enter to move the CAD file and place it at the origin point. But if F12 was not enabled, you just select the base point and then import double zeros. Here I hold down Shift and then sharp double zeros and then press down Enter. Then the AutoCAD file will be moved to the 0 coordinates. Then I type ZE zoom extents to zoom the files to extents, and we have moved the file to the origin point.